Hi everyone at Overport Primary School, it's Adam here, and I just wanted to, follow up from our Professional Learning Day to give you something that hopefully over the next few months you can refer back to and have a look at to make sure we keep some of the momentum going from the Professional Learning Day that we spent together. The first thing I want to do is say a very sincere thanks. It's always really an exciting thing and a rewarding thing for me to be involved with people who immerse themselves so wholeheartedly in professional learning the way that you guys did. So it really leaves me with a feeling of anticipation about what's possible, and I know that we're going to achieve some really wonderful things together over the next couple of years. To remind you, of the content of the day, when we're looking very much at restorative practices and focusing on that informal end of the continuum, and to do that, the main things that we wanted to emphasise today were around the tenets of restorative practices, the idea that when you are looking to work with young people, particularly around the area of conflict, to focus on harm and relationships. So get them to think about what is the damage here in terms of the way that my behaviour has made other people feel, and then hold them accountable by those relationships, which means that they need to repair the harm. They need to actually undo the damage. They need to clean up the mess. And so making sure that any consequences or that any apologies of action are connected to the damage that's done is a great place to start. We also unpacked the operating domain, so the idea of how we can be firm and fair and how we can get a balance in that without actually sacrificing firmness for fairness is really important. And we looked at how you can be either a 2 teacher in the 2 box where you're high on the punitive stuff. You can be a 4 teacher where you're high on the support and the encouragement but not so big on the firmness. You could be a not teacher where you've got a low expectation and a low level of support. Or you can be a with teacher, which is where great relational practice lives. You're high on firmness and high on fairness, and it's actually where we're doing our really best work around respect building. And we agreed that respect is an issue for Australian schools, and we want to make a contribution in that space. One of the other things that we referred to as a tool that you can use is the restorative questions. So be aware of having those available. We've left some in the school. I know there were some people laminating them straight away. Stick them on your lanyards. Put them in your yard duty folders and things like that so that you've got them with you. But my key message around the questions is remember that you don't need to use them every time someone drops a piece of rubbish on the ground. That's where an affective statement where you were encouraged to chuck in a feeling is appropriate. And always remember that the questions are there as a guide, not a script. So the questions are there to make sure that any conversation moves as quickly as possible and as is appropriate from past to present to future. And if you can do that, then you're using the cards appropriately, and you can use all sorts of counselling and questioning techniques in between those questions to make sure that the conversation moves in that direction. And I wanted to also encourage you that you can have a crack at circles for your class straight away. So whether it's a Joey Tribbiani check-in circle, whether it's a check-out circle at the end of the week, whether you've had a difficult situation, there might have been a death in someone's family and you run a grief circle, it might be a preparation circle for an excursion or for an incursion that might be coming up in the school. It can be any type of circle, and you can know that you can have a go and start to get better at that, because the word practice on the end of restorative practice is what this is all about. Have a go, practice it, and you will find that your skill level improves exponentially over time. And always remember that what we're trying to do is to move from a set of implicit practices to explicit. And over the next 24 months we'll be working together to make sure that we are really focused on putting the meat on the bones about what that restorative framework looks like for Overport Primary School. But above anything else, that's sort of some of the content from the day, but above anything else I want you to remember the dialogue experiences that you had. And the clips that you can see popping onto the screen now are a reminder for you of the value in groups of teachers sitting around a table and talking about practice. And what I see in these clips are a group of people who are very passionate about their work, who need and deserve and will thrive through the opportunity to discuss practice in a really consistent way. So I'll be asking you to look I'll be looking for evidence across Overport Primary School that there are opportunities for you to immerse yourselves in these conversations, and that the commitments that you make in those conversations are coming to fruition. Which leads me to, through that word commitment, the last part of this video, which is your 15-second commitments. And these are a reminder of what you said you would do straight away and what you would have a go at. And I hope that these become something that not only you achieve, but that you build upon. and I'll be checking in obviously to make sure that you do. So the next time I'm with you is on the 25th of March, so have a bit of a chat in the meantime to Deb and to Tess and to Julie about how you might construct the timetable for that day. We'll do the parent information session that evening to start getting them on side, and I'm pretty sure that quickly we're going to get some traction around restorative practices in your school and do some fantastic stuff. All the best over the next few weeks, and I'll see you real soon.
What am I going to do? I'm going to do whatever I can to strengthen the connection with our community, aka our parents, to work really hard to get as many parents as possible to our information session on the 25th of March.
I'm going to continue to constantly reflect on my practice.
I'm going to build self-esteem through success more than just encouraging.
I'm going to communicate the rationale behind what we're doing better to parents.
Well, if schools are citizen builders, then I want the library to help build citizens with a desire to explore their world and to be excited about the future and fascinated by their past, and to be a place where everyone can connect and come together and share their interests.
I'm going to try and engage my class with and model the behaviour that I want from them. And I'm also going to try and use different ways to communicate other than just talking to them, like the computer, and maybe even get them to video each other. Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that my kids know every single day that I care for them, and that's my #1 priority. Everything I say and everything that I do, I want them to know that I care for them.
I'm going to start positive priming and trying to stop saying negative things to kids. Don't do this. I'm going to go do that.
Build connections in my grade by asking the children how they are every day and getting them to communicate with one another.
I'm going to really think about the firm fair model and make sure that I'm working with the children, try and stop myself when I'm going into the 2 mode and the 4 mode.
I'm going to commit to chucking in a feeling every now and then to let my students know that I truly care about them and their feeling.
I'm committed to getting to know the silent majority, not just the noisy minority of kids in our school.
I'm going to try to commit to recognising, understanding and not reacting but responding, because I think sometimes I react.
Okay, I think I'm going to implement more circles, check in and check out circles. And I'm really excited as a new teacher that this is coming in as I'm coming in, so we can do it together.
I am going to try and ask my children how they are doing more every day, and also implement more circle time where they're able to share their feelings with each other.
Look, I think I'm going to commit to building relationships within the class that will improve my performance and the performance of my kids, I thought. So, good one.
I'm going to try and listen more and talk less. And I'm going to try and be patient with the kids when I'm listening to them, even though I might know that they're telling me rubbish, to really listen to them, to really hear what they're trying to say to me. And I'd like to do that with your staff as well. So that to me is the one thing. But I'm also going to use your 9-minute stuff. I loved it. And yeah, that might help me do the listening in a time frame that I can manage.
What I'm going to, I feel like I'm going to invest more time into the students and really show that caring side and show that I really value each and every one of them.
Look at the camera. I'm going to learn to be firm but fair, because I think that I'm a bit more fair and I'm not as firm as I should be.
I am going to use the restorative questions and make sure that I ask kids how they're doing and why they're behaving in the way they're behaving.
I'm going to implement recognising, understanding and respond to certain situations. I'm going to also implement the 9-minute strategy, not only with my girls, boys need it as well. And I'm going to now implement checkout on Fridays. I already do community circles on Monday mornings. I'd like to see how they are at the end of the week.
Hello, I'm going to be more accountable for my teaching by listening and asking for feedback for my kids. Inside, checkout circles, that's about all.
So this year I thought I would commit to the check-in and check-out times. I'd like to do it daily. We could do a really quick session of it. Yeah, I think that would work really well in the classroom.
I'm going to spend a lot more time developing the skills of the children who don't demand most of my time, so that the fringe dwellers.
My commitment is to recognise, understand and respond in one particular student in particular, and see how I go with that.
I'm definitely going to try and do more circle work, definitely just how you doing kind of stuff, because I know, I always greet my kids as they walk in the door to try and gauge how they're going, but it's not, I don't think that's good enough, and I think that's a great idea to get them around and involved, and yeah, we'll go from there.